At the start of the first lockdown, I produced a rough and ready guide to the role that branding plays in business, with the idea that as people had a little bit of time on their hands, they might like to take a stand back and look at their company and assess whether their branding was working for them. So the better you understand your branding, the easier it'll be for you to apply some of the techniques in your own business. So here, I'll just run through some of the points that I made. First, we need to cast our minds back to the very beginning of our business and recall the very essence of our ideas. And assuming that we still feel positive about what we do, we need to ask 4 questions. Who am I? Who needs to know? How will they find out? And really, why should they care? So these are pretty big questions, but don't shy away from taking a bit of time to answer them. And most importantly, make a note of your answers, because the more detailed, the better. You'll need them later. A brand does many things, but it breaks down to 3 essential parts. Navigation, and the brand helps us choose. It guides us to the product that we want to buy. It reassures us by implying the quality and the sustainability of a product, and it engages with us by providing distinctive imagery or typographic language, and that encourages us to identify with the brand. And you'll notice that a lot of what I've mentioned so far about branding involves emotions, ideas and feelings, and that we need to be able to turn that into something tangible, something we can see and hold. And this is in the form of a brand identity. Now, the brand identity gives us the tools to create those emotions in our clients and customers. And at its best, it's a well-crafted and regimented approach to all the interactions with our public. For some, brand identity starts and finishes with the company logo. This little fella still as recognizable today as he was 130 years ago. Another well-known and ubiquitous logo, which has also been with us for over 100 years. And to logos that divide public opinion. It's up to you whether you think this is a clever abstract image using the numbers 2012 or just a jumble of shapes. We'll also look at some very cleverly designed logos. Has anyone ever spotted the arrow travelling from A to Z in this logo here? The identity also incorporates a curve in a warm and comforting orange colour. Curves like this mimic smiles and are supposed to work on our subconscious to make us feel positive emotions towards the brand. Often, part of the brand identity itself is the typeface. This can be an intrinsic part of the design, or just the font used to support the brand identity. We're all aware of fonts, and we use them on our computers every day, and there are so many available, and they all work on the subconscious to create an impression. Here's an example of a timeless font used in countless logos and has a no-nonsense feel. Helvetica has strong associations with being dependable, fair and democratic. So when you design a brand identity with this, you're already off to a good start. Each of these 3 logos uses Helvetica in the brand identity. Nike uses Futura Bold Condensed. It leans to the right to indicate speed, and the swoosh gives a perspective and distance. This brand is about going somewhere fast. A lack of typographic awareness can ring alarm bells with a potential client. So who is my perfect customer? Who would I ideally like to sell to? Where do they live? What do they wear? What do they read? And what do they watch? And when you've done that, find every bit of marketing collateral you have, brochures, leaflets, headed paper, print off your website, LinkedIn page, Instagram pages, and lay them all out on the table. Does any of it look as though it would appeal to your perfect customer? Does everything look as though it came from the same company? If the answer is yes, then great, you're doing well. And if not, you've lost your way a little in the branding world. But don't feel too bad. If you answered no to some of these questions, you're not in that bad company. Even the best companies lose their way sometimes. Gap, for example, made a disastrous change to their brand and received such a negative response from the public that they changed back. So, you've identified any key problems with your brand identity, and after a bit of work, you're now satisfied that all your brand identity is likely to appeal to the customers you're looking for, and all of your promotional material is looking like it comes from the same company. Here are a few more things which are also important to building a successful brand. Now we're back to psychology again. The words that you use in your publicity convey a feel for who you are as a company. For example, wordy, jargon-filled pages can create a feeling of having the wool pulled over your eyes, and the use of generic text can lack conviction. The colours that you use can be part of a brand identity, and they can also affect the way the overall brand is perceived. Now, if you look around, there are many charts denoting the pros and cons of colour. These charts are to be used with caution, but it is important to know why you're using colour to enhance your brand. Your choice of pictures and graphics say a lot about your image and the way that your business wants to project itself. Avoid generic stock photography if you want any chance of standing out from the crowd. The use of a tagline can help encapsulate the essence of your business, and designed well, it will fit seamlessly into your brand identity and help explain what you do succinctly. Without fail though, the essence of a good brand, almost above everything else, is consistency. Oh, and one more thing. More consistency. Oh, and one more thing. Honesty. The best brands can be completely destroyed by misleading or false marketing. Sometimes it's useful to add a little humour to help the brand seem more human. And finally, to reach the pinnacle of brand identity, if you look at this advertisement for Lego, it uses another brand. And if you can recognise this family, then you know just how well that job has been done.